Yes.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah. So, welcome all the devotees for this Nityanand Sabha meet. Uh, this is a very good platform for all of us to get trained with different topics, and it allows us more time and frequency. So, today we are fortunate to have His Grace Tulsi Prabhu with us. He is very familiar figure amongst at least the Pune congregation, and many of you might be knowing, but I'll just give a brief introduction of Prabhuji. So His Grace Tulsi Pro, whose legal name is Tushar Gaikwad, he's one of the dynamic Grihasthas in Iskcon Pune. He was introduced to consciousness during his first year of graduation, like 1995, 96. Prabhuji is academic with distinction. He also worked in and also Airbus in UK for a few years, and currently is working with Tata Technologies as senior project manager. He has total work experience of more than 22 years. So, regarding his services in Iskcon Pune specifically, he was personally trained by his Guru Rajesham Prabhu in his very early days of Krishna consciousness. He is actually from the first batch of youth preaching in Pune. Last session was given by His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu, and Prabhuji was nearly or actually were on the same batch of training when Rajesham Prabhu started his youth preaching here. He has given various seminars on stress management, time management, discovery of self, positive thinkers, self manager, etc. In not only to students but also in corporates like Tata Tech Mahindra, and in colleges like NIT Warangal, NIT Surathkal, and in Pune colleges like many of us know, where we have voices. And he's currently acting as a counselor also since long time for the youth and householder devotees. He took key role in Tech Mahindra corporate preaching program, and he was actually a key person in establishing DY Patil Voice in 1999 till 2003. He managed it, and then he moved on to MIT College to energize the voice center there till he got married in 2004. He conducts Bhakti Viksha programs, Gita classes, conducted actually while he was working in USA, mainly for Indian families working in Microsoft and other software firms, and it became very successful and got multiplied to 5 more programs in the same year itself. He was coordinator for Teenage Boys Voice for many years in Pune. Prabhuji is currently he is like a director for Bhaktivedanta Model School since its inception. That was in 2011, and he focuses on character competence and devotion, blending Vedic culture with modern academics. So this Bhaktivedanta Model School is like prominently one of the major contribution which Prabhuji has done, especially for congregation, which was a need at that time, and now also it is helping a lot of devotee kids to get a good exposure not only to academics but also our Krishna consciousness culture. So, Prabhuji will be speaking on the topic engagement in Krishna consciousness, importance of engagement, and he is himself an example of taking a very great initiative, especially with Bhaktivedanta Model School. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your time. Looking forward to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, and thank you so much for kind introduction. So I thank all the organizers. Who is behind this Nityanand Sabha Prabhuji currently, or you are the one looking after the whole thing? You are on mute, so I could not hear. Are you all? You can hear me? Okay. Yes. Yes. Somebody wrote in the chat. Atmaram Noram. Yes. So basically, I would like to thank all the organizers of Nityananda Sabha. Am I audible enough, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. So I remember this Sabha has helped personally me and many of my equals, friends, etc. when we were about to get married and just got married. So that is the phase when we need maximum guidance because so many things are changing in life that time. So with that in background, This particular Sabha has been very instrumental. Many devotees come and tell us, that was very nice camp, etc. But now I think it is revived again under Atmaram Garampu and maybe some other devotees that I'm not aware of. So first of all, thanks to all these devotees who are organizing this kind of camps or meetings or association of various devotees, to the young couples and about to get married or just married, forums of our congregation. Just for my interest, of the audience, how many are not yet married? Because accordingly, you can just type in the chat, not married or married, so that I will come to know who is my audience, because in the online it becomes very difficult to find out who is sitting in front. So just in next 10 seconds, you can just put there.
Yeah. Am I audible to you now, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, now you're audible.
So devotees maybe can put it on chat.
Yeah, they're putting, mostly are unmarried only, yes.
And Prabhuji, one more thing. Now Matajis are also part of this.
Yes, that will be very nice.
There are Prabhuji.
Very good. Yeah. I think majority of them are unmarried. That's what the reply is getting. So thank you for for this information. Immediate poll, instant poll that you have given me. Yes, thank you. So I will share my screen. The topic that is given to me by the organizers is importance of Krishna conscious engagements in Grihastha life. Right, true?
Yes.
So next 1.5 hour, we'll try to go through various things. Just tell me once you are able to see my screen.
It's visible, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're able to see this particular screen, Srimad Bhagavatam Shloka?
Yes. Veda wisdom.
Yes. So this is the beautiful verse from Rudrasura's pastime. And when Rudrasura is offering prayers, these 4 verses that we are going to read today. 6th canto, 11th chapter, verse number 24, 25, 26, 27. These 4 shlokas are called as the Chatushloki. Just like we have Bhagavad Gita ka Chatushloki, we have Bhagavatam ka Chatushloki in the stream in the 2nd canto. These 4 verses of the 6th canto are called as the Chatushloki of the 6th canto. They are that important. Acharya has given many explanations on these verses, and from this we'll try to see what all things we can bring out further in our discussions. We'll be also open for the question answers at the end. So 1 or 2 devotees can unmute and they can repeat the slokas after me, and everyone can repeat without unmuting. These are very, very important, something like that we can remember kind of these slokas. So Rudrasura is praying. Aham Hare Tava Padaka Moolam
Aham Hare Tava Padaikamula
Dasanudaso Bhavitasmi Bhuyah
Dasanudaso Bhavita Smi Bhuyah
Manasmareta Supratir Gunanste
Anasmareta Supater Gunamste
Grunitva Karma Karotu Kayah.
Granitava Karma Karotu Kayaha.
So the translation is, now you can mute, all of you can mute. Translation is, O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes. My words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your lordships. Read the purport. This verse gives the sum and substance of devotional life. One must first become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, Dasanudas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that he also showed by his own example that a living entity should always desire to be a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayor Das Das Anudasa. This means that one must accept a spiritual master who comes in the disciplic succession and is a servant of the Lord. Under his direction, one must then engage one's three properties, namely his body, mind, and words. The body should be engaged in physical activity under the order of the master. The mind should think of Krishna incessantly, and one's words should be engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord. If one is thus engaged in the loving service of the Lord, one's life is successful. I start with the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Nam Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhantamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I hope you are able to hear me properly. We'll start with our discussion. This verse is the first verse from the 6th canto, 11th chapter, and of the 4, these Chatusloki of the 6th canto. Aham Hare Tava Padai Kamula. Rudrasura is praying, whose only shelter is the lotus feet. Pada Ekamula. Dasanu Daso. He wants to become servant of your servant. And in the future, Bhavishmati, Bhavitasmi, shall I become again what? Manasmareta Supater Gunanste. Smareta, matlab in my mind I will remember. Ashupate, of the Lord of my life, your attributes. I can chant them again. Grihastha Vakkarma Karotu Kaya. Activities of service to you. When can I perform them again? So this is what Rudrasura is praying, that he wants to become Dasanudas. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also mentioned Dasanudas in that famous line, Gopir Bhartur Pada Komalayor Das Anudas. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport is giving this secret to all the devotees, that how can they develop the taste for the chanting of the holy names? How can they achieve the success in their devotional service, in their bhakti, is by becoming Das Anudas. In the first line of this purport itself, Prabhupada is saying, one must first become a servant of the servant of the servant. Now in this world, what happens? Nobody wants to become servant. Everybody wants to become master. So in this regard, I remember one pastime of Srila Prabhupada ji. Srila Prabhupada had traveled to Japan with some of his devotees to have some negotiations about Krishna book printing that was to be done by one Dai Nippon company in Japan. So he had one long meeting with all the members from that company. There were managers, senior managers, even the main person over there, he had come to meet Srila Prabhupada. The meeting went well. After the meeting, everybody left except one deputy manager. He was the only person there. And then Srila Prabhupada asked him, what is the goal of your life? The goal of my life? He immediately got up. That Japanese young man, he went to his cabin, he got something in his hand, again came and sat in front of Srila Prabhupada. And he said, in the Japanese and English was going on, he said, this is my card. He put it on the table, his visiting card, deputy manager. Then he took out his boss card, manager, put on the top of his card. He took senior manager's card and he put that down on that stack above the manager. Then he took out vice president, is above senior manager. He took out president's card and put it on it. And then he said, this is how the hierarchy is. And then he took out his card from there and put it on the top of the vice president. This is the goal of my life. Very instructive, because he wanted to become boss of the boss of the boss of the boss, the topmost boss. He wanted to become boss on a boss. And the goal of life, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, is dasanu das. So everybody here wants to become master. Boss anu boss, boss anu boss. Who will hear my instructions? Everybody wants to give his instructions. So that is the problem, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Jivera Swarupa Hoya Krishnera Nityadas. All of us, by our dharma, our Swarupa dharma, is servant of Krishna. Krishnera Nityadas. And how? Nitya. Eternally we are servant of Lord Krishna. That means if that is our dharma, we will be happy in following that dharma. If you try to follow someone else's dharma, then you will not become happy and satisfied. That's the main point. Dharma is not Hindu, Muslim, Christians. That is a man-made dharma. But dharma is that is eternal to our existence. And that eternality aspect is of service. That eternality aspect is of love, loving Supreme Lord, and serving with love. That becomes devotional service. So bhakti is translated by Srila Prabhupada as devotional service, not just devotion. Bhakti means devotional service. So service component is added by Srila Prabhupada in the transliteration of the word bhakti. Otherwise, in English dictionary, you may find that bhakti is devotion. But Prabhupada is so intelligent. As an acharya, he is presenting to us bhakti means devotional service. So service component is added in bhakti. So nitya dharma is nitya seva. That is our eternal position. But nobody wants to become नौकर. सबको क्या कैसा लग रहा है? आप क्या हो? नौकर हो. आप क्या हो? नौकर हो. सब लोग नौकर 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 है, तो कैसे चलेगा? लोगों को लगता है मुझे तो स्वामी बनना है, और यही कारण है कि हम इस जगत में. So then generally when person who has lost its identity, that I am the eternal servant of Lord Krishna, that person keeps moving around trying to find out some other identities in life, some different posts. Like in this example of Srila Prabhupada and that manager, he is identifying himself as deputy manager, and his dream is to become the president of the company. So that is very strong identification that he has in his life. That is the goal of his life. But we have so many presidents, so many CEOs coming and going. Who is remembering what is the achievement, and everything fades away after your retirement. Someone else takes over that particular post. And again, the problems of life remain. So the intelligent person goes beyond the objective of just careers. You may become very big person in your career, but after 58, 60, 65, you'll have to retire. Even if you are a businessman, at some point of time, you'll not be able to function that business very nicely as the young generation can. You'll have to pass on the baton. Everybody knows that. Then what is the goal of life? That means definitely that was not the ultimate goal of life. So why not start early in our life? Like we are mostly the audience is unmarried or just married, or even if you are married for say decade, as early as possible we can align ourselves to the eternal dharma. That will be very nice. That will give us the ultimate goal easily or faster. We can achieve the realizations and please Lord Krishna and his devotees. So the person who is moving around here and there just like that, जिसको पता ना नहीं होता है, रास्ते पे हम जाते हैं, अब सबने पागल लोग देखे रास्ते के ऊपर, वो बोलते रहते ना, I am the policeman, I am traffic policeman, everybody please follow me, and he keeps doing his hands like this, stop, you go. We have seen such mad person on the road. Nobody listens to him, but he thinks that he is controlling the traffic. He has misidentified himself with the traffic policeman. Once such mad people are moving around, and our first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, or independent India, Jawaharlal Nehru, once he visited one mental asylum in Agra. And there were many people, they were talking incoherently here and there. Somebody was telling that I am the chief engineer. Somebody was telling that I am doctor. Please sit here, lie down, I will check your blood pressure and etc. So everybody was talking and behaving madly, and Jawaharlal Nehru was walking here and there. But one person was sitting very quietly in one corner. And Jawaharlal Nehru became quite inquisitive. He went to him and he asked him, so who are you? That person looked at Jawaharlal Nehru in a very gambhir aankhon se, and he asked, I can tell you that, but who are you? He said, I am Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister of India. And this mad person started laughing like anything. Jawaharlal Nehru asked, what happened? He said, 10 years back, when I came here in this mental asylum, I was also saying the same thing, that I am Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister of India. Like that. So, it's quite interesting story here that Nehru, the mad person was thinking he is Nehru. And he was telling that other person who is the real Nehru that you are a mad person. Why you are thinking like this? Something like. So that means the mad people are moving around, and more we are identifying ourselves with this local or the posts in this world, more we are actually qualified to be called as mad people. Because we are not thinking about our real position. The Jivera Swarupa Hoya Nityadas. So if we are supposed to serve Sri Krishna, we are supposed to, and service करना मतलब कभी कभी बहुत बुरा लगता है, अभी सेवा करना है, I will not enjoy the fruits, rather I have to give the fruits of my service to someone else. That is the painful part. But when we are serving Krishna, it is not that difficult. Seva can start with even Shravanam. For example, all of us, what we are doing is a Shravana Seva. Now, after the program, if it is in the temple, there will be Prasadam Seva. How many of you do not like to have Prasadam? All of us would like to have Prasadam. That is also Prasada Seva. Then there is Kirtan Seva, just sing and dance. So many services are available. And then there are physical services, temple cleaning, book distribution, so many, dozens of services available with them. So more the seva we do, more the happiness we get. This is what Rudrasura is asking here. Will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants? That is Rudrasura's desire. and I want to become dasanudasa. Is the word used in the Sanskrit verse itself. So seva chahiye. So this mantra you can write down somewhere. Mantra is what? Seva saves. S-A-V-E. Yes. S-E-V-A. Seva saves. And many sevas saves. So more the seva we do, more the saving. Saving from what? From Maya Devi. In one Vaishnava bhajan, it is compared. Maya is compared to a chudel by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You can imagine he is calling conditioned soul to be one who is sleeping in the lap of Maya. Now imagine that there is a chudel, with all this ugly rupa, and you are sleeping in her lap. How will you feel? So Maya Devi is like that. She is trying to give us so many allurements. Don't serve Krishna, don't go to temple, don't chant Hare Krishna. But in the end, what is happening? We are getting adhyatmic, adibhautik, adidevik kleshas from Maya. So that is chudel. She promises one thing, but gives only pains in this world. So that is why seva saves. So we'll go to the next verse now, what Rudrasura is saying here. One is he has asked to become Dasanudas. You are able to see the second verse on the screen? No?
Yes, Prabhu.
So now I will only say this verse. न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ट्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिर् अपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसस्त्वा विरहय्य कांक्षे. Now here Dhritarashtra is saying, "O my Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets or the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be master of the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet." तो भगवान के चरण कमलों की सेवा छोड़ के अगर मुझे ये सब बनाया जाए, न नाकपृष्ठम इज द हेवनली प्लैनेट्स ऑन ध्रुवलोका, न च पारमेष्टम, such a wonderful verse you want to remember. Nakaprushtam, parameshtam, sarobhaumam, rasadhipatyam. सार्वभौम मतलब सार्वभौम राजा होता है, इज द किंग ऑफ द होल अर्थली प्लैनेटरी सिस्टम, मतलब भूमंडल का पति, नॉट जस्ट अवर भू माता, मतलब दिस नॉट अर्थली प्लैनेट, अर्थ प्लैनेट. Bhumandal is much bigger, like we were reading recently in the 5th canto, our Bhumi is one Bharata Khanda. In Bharatavarsha has 9 khandas. One of them is Bharata Khanda, and that is our earth. Bharatavarsha has 9 khandas, much bigger, and Bharatavarsha is part of Jambudvipa. There are 9 such varshas. Out of that, only one varsha is Bharatavarsha. And Jambudvipa is part of Bhumandala, out of 7 dvipas that Priyavrat Maharaj created. Of that, one of the smallest of the dvip is Jambudvip. So you can imagine there is one huge Bhumandala divided into 7 parts. One smallest part is called Jambudvip. Jambudvip is divided into 9 parts. One part is called Bharatavarsha. This Bharatavarsha divided into 9 parts again. And one smallest part of the Bharatvarsha is called Bharatakhanda. That is this earth planet that we live in, as per the modern science, this spherical rule. So, यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं रुद्रासुर? सार्वभौम राजा मतलब the king of the Bhumandala, like Priyavrat Maharaj. I do not want even that. न रसाधिपत्यम. Now रसाधिपत्यम मतलब जो नीचे के लोक है, lower planetary systems, they are very beautiful, very full of lot of enjoyment up to Patala Loka. And Narak Loka is different, where all the 28 hellish planets are there, and Yamaraj and Yamadutas are managing and inflicting so much of pain on the papi jivas. But the Bila Swarga, this lower planetary system is called Bila Swarga. Swarga because they are like Swarga, but they are below. So I do not want sovereignty of the lower planetary systems as well. No yoga siddhim, Ashtang Yoga का जो सिद्धि होता है, all these 8 siddhis, I do not want that. Apunah bhavam, liberation from the rebirth, मतलब इस भौतिक जगत के परे, out of cycle of birth and death, वो भी मुझे नहीं चाहिए. मतलब ब्रह्म ज्योति में, ब्रह्मांड के बाहर, that also I don't want. If for to get all that, I have to leave your lotus feet. So that is Rudrastra, such a great personality. So what he wants only lotus feet. In the purport, Prabhuji is talking about Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas Janame Haya Ei Avilas. Narottam Das Thakur has said, that how one can become Dasanudas. Tandera Charana Sevi, to serve the Lord and his servants in the association of devotees is the only objective of a pure, unalloyed devotee. Ei Avilash. That is the desire. So how pure devotees, they do not want anything material. They only want some engagement, some seva in the service of the Lord. And for that they are ready to do anything, literally anything. Gopis, the famous story that once Narad Muni was with Krishna and he said, I am having big headache. And Narad Muni said, what is the solution? He said, if some devotee can give me the dust of their lotus feet, I put that on my head, then my headache will go away. Narad Muni said, oh, anybody does that, he will go to hell. No, I can't give. Then he went to Gopis. And Gopis said, really? If the dust from our lotus feet is going to relieve Krishna's headache, then we are ready to give it in as much quantity as required. And Narad Muni was shocked. Hey, you are all servants of Lord Krishna, Bhakta of Lord Krishna, and he is your Swami, and you are ready to put the dust of your lotus feet on your Swami's head, you will go to hell. And the answer of the Gopis surprised Narad Muni like anything. He said, if this dust from our feet is going to relieve the pain of the headache of Lord Krishna, even for a moment, and for that, if we have to go in the hellish planets for rest of the eternity, still we'll prefer that, because that is the goal of our life, to please Lord Krishna. So that is, the attitude, that is the dedication, commitment the devotees have. They have no desire of any material gain, whether hell or heaven. So, dasanu daso bhavishtami. That is what Rudras is saying. So this is second verse of this Chatushloki of the 6th canto. Next verse is telling, Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsatarah kshudhartaha priyam priyeva yushitam vishanna manoravindaksha vidrukshate tvam. What is praying? See, O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them. This is one example as well. Second example, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. And third example, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects, I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. सेवा भाव के लिए हमें कितना तरसना चाहिए. ये 3 एग्जाम्पल श्रीमद् भागवतम में डायरेक्ट वृत्रासुर हमें सिखा रहे हैं। कभी कभी हमारे सामने सेवा आती है तो हम बोलते हैं प्रभु जी कोई दूसरा नहीं मिला तो मुझे फोन करो, है ना। और यहाँ पे वृत्रासुर बोल रहे हैं कि हम सेवा के लिए कितने आतुर होना चाहिए, है ना। अजात पक्षा एवं मातरम खगा, जिस तरह से अपने माता की राह देखता है एक बेबी बर्ड, स्तन्यम यथा वत्स तरा क्षुधार्थ, और दूध पीने के लिए जिस प्रकार से वत्स अपने गौ माता का इंतजार करता है, प्रियम प्रिय वो विषुतम विषन्ना, और एक पत्नी अपने पति की राह देखती है जो घर से दूर गया हो किसी काम के लिए, उस तरह से हमें आतुर होना चाहिए, उस तरह से हमें व्याकुल होना चाहिए। नो, लौल्यम इज द ओनली प्राइस वी हैव टू पे, रूप गोस्वामी said that lowlyam for service to Krishna. Service to Krishna is more important than directly being in association with Krishna. There is one famous example I remember where one particular servant, I forgot his name, he was fanning Lord Krishna, and he came so much surcharged with devotional ecstasy that the drops started coming from his eyes out of love for Lord Krishna. भक्तिमय प्रेम से आंखों में से इतने आंसू आने लगे, he started cursing them, that this my ecstasy is coming in my service to Lord Krishna. So service to Lord Krishna is more important. सेवा के लिए ऐसा बोला जाता है कि सेवा की भीख मांगनी चाहिए। भीख, भीख किसको बोलते हैं, मतलब आपको भिखारी बनना है, प्रभु जी कुछ सेवा है, माता जी कुछ सेवा है, कुछ सेवा कर सकते हैं। और ये हमें दिखाया है चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने खुद। He is the supreme personality of Godhead, and when Gundicha Marjanam was there, that time the manager, superintendent of the temples were like Kashi Mishra and others who were all devotees of Lord Chaitanya. But being in authoritative position, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to them and said, I want to do this particular service of Gundicha Marjanam. Please allow me. This is, he was showing by his own example. So devotee is always wanting to do service. So how Rudrasur in the 3rd verse also, he's telling us with what intensity we should be asking for service. And this last verse of the 4 verses, Mamottama shloka janeshu sakhyam samsara chakre brahmatah swakarmabhi tvanmayayatmat majadar gehe shwasakta chittasya nanath bhuyat. Translation: O my Lord, my Master, I am wandering throughout this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. My attachment to my body, my wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy. But I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you. तो ये रुद्रासुर कितने अच्छे प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि मेरे पाप और पुण्य कर्म के फलों के कारण इस ब्रह्मांड में भटक रहा हूं यहाँ से वहां। इसके पहले वो चित्रकेतु थे, चित्रकेतु राजा के रूप में उनको पुत्र प्राप्ति की बहुत ही बड़ी इच्छा थी, और वो अभी वृत्रासुर बन रहे हैं, और बहुत बड़ा ट्रांजिशन उनका हुआ है यहाँ पे आने के बाद। वो अभी I am simply seeking the friendship of your devotees. That's what he wanted. Mamottama shloka janeshu sakhyam. Sakhyam is friendship. Uttama shloka is the Supreme Lord. And Uttama shloka janeshu matlab the devotees of such Uttama shloka. And I want friendship of such devotees. Such a nice prayer. We can think his prayers are like this, in one sense, when Acharya was mentioning that let your devotees become my friends, and let my friend become your devotees. I'm repeating it again. Let your devotees become my friends, and let my friends, colleagues, relatives, they become your devotees. A wonderful prayer. We can stand in front of the Lord and pray like this. Let my all relatives, friends become your devotees, and let your devotees become my friends. No? So that what will happen? He will become Dasanudas. So these 4 verses are teaching us such an important aspect of devotional service. एक कहानी आती है श्रीमद् भागवतम में ही, 3rd कैंटो में, जब चतुष्ट कुमार जा रहे होते हैं वैकुंठ में, उनको कौन रोकता है वहां से? जय और विजय. अभी जय विजय भी बहुत बड़े भक्त हैं, वो भगवान की सेवा कर रहे हैं, और वो सेवा क्या कर रहे हैं? द्वारपाल करने की सेवा. अभी देखिए, जो ग्रेट डिवोटीज होते हैं ना, उनको वो सेवा में कभी भेदभाव नहीं करते. जनरली व्हेन वी वांट टू डू सर्विस, we want to do service that is in the temple hall so that we can take darshan of the Lord. Say crowd control seva is there. Now, or another option is the service in the parking lot on the Janmashtami day. There you don't get any darshan of the Lord. Or somewhere we are near the great devotees who are visiting. In the prasadam hall, you may have to miss the lecture also of Guru Maharaj and be there and make the arrangements. You may miss the Abhishekam of the Lord, Darshan of the Lord, and doing the Prasadam arrangement, background services. So many services are there that take you physically away from the place of happening. So here, Jay and Vijay, they are doing service on the Dwara. All the pastimes of the Lord are happening inside Vaikuntha. There are so many other hundreds of devotees serving Lord Vishnu inside. The ones who is serving on the doors, they are not less devotees. In fact, sometimes they are more advanced devotees. They know that this service is also important. Janmashtami parking seva or prasadam serving seva. They are very important services because you have to miss the program, but they are important. That way my Guru and Krishna will be very much pleased. What is the consciousness of these devotees? Once about, remember Radhanath Swami Maharaj, his Vyas Puja was going on. And devotees from Bhaktivedanta hospital, they also wanted to attend the Vyas Puja. Now, who will stay back? There are patients, they also need services. So doctors, devotees, they had a meeting and they came that this question will answer our question. What is the question we need to ask? What will please our Guru Maharaj? If all the devotee doctors go to Vyas Puja, and if there is nobody to attend to the patients, some of them are devotees, some of them are not devotees, will our Guru Maharaj be pleased? Will Lord Krishna be pleased? Who will get more mercy by going there physically at the cost of not taking care of the patients? Will that please Guru Maharaj more? Or some of us staying back, will that please Guru Maharaj? Will Maharaj ki inspiration se hospital start hua? So the question of doing or not doing will be answered by asking another question. What will please Guru and Krishna? And then they had further detailed discussions that how the cooperation amongst devotees, that okay, somebody standing at the parking lot or in the hospital, or yatra ja raha hai Maharaj ka, and somebody has to stay back in the local temple for taking care of the deities. Yatra is the place of happening that time. So the devotees who are staying back are more qualified to get mercy because they are sacrificing. They may be missing the lecture, they may be missing the direct abhishek or the things that are happening over there. They are staying back and trying to serve the Guru Maharaj for his pleasure, trying to serve Lord Krishna for his pleasure. They are qualified to get more mercy. Why? Because that is what Guru and Krishna wants. Hare Krishna. Go to mute somebody.
Prabhuji, can you unmute?
Yeah, so the devotee, you are able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so far voice was clear, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So how we receive more mercy is by sacrificing our pleasure for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Our pleasure is we want to be there in Yatra or in the Abhishek place. Guru's pleasure is that all services should go on nicely. That is the question we need to ask. That will please the Guru Maharaj and Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord more. That is Dasanu Dasanu Das. Like that. That those who are coming to take darshan, those who are coming to take darshan of the Lord on Janmashtami day, and you are sitting in the parking lot. So you are serving the servants of the Lord, and Lord Krishna is watching. You are missing half of the lecture and going in the prasadam hall for serving. Guru is watching, Krishna is watching. The mercy will come there. So this aspect of bhava is also very, very important. So what happens when we are doing service to Lord Krishna, to Guru and Vaishnavas? Just to make it a little more interactive, all of you are already devotees. So in the chat, can you type, one word or maximum 2 words? What is the benefit of doing service to Krishna? I'm sure some of you will be able to write some answers. In next 10-15 seconds, what is that you get? Okay, I got one answer. Engagement, purification of heart, love to serve more, mercy of the Lord, connection, fantastic, eternal happiness, anartha nivrutti. Wow, connection, engaging senses with Krishna. It pleases spiritual master, Vaishnavam ki krupa. Wonderful answers. Thank you so much, Lord. Wow, so many answers are coming. Thank you for being so active on the Zoom program also, because sometimes people put on the lecture and doing other activities. Yes, so these are the benefits of doing seva. I'll just try to summarize what we saw in the chat box. The first thing we get is the satisfaction in the heart. The satisfaction and the happiness we get by serving, especially selflessly serving. Agar wo ho jata hai, that will be beautiful. That is compared to nothing in the world, even thousands and lakhs of rupees. The second is, somebody mentioned over here, is the connection. The connection with whom? Guru and Krishna though definitely is there. But the connection with the devotees, we get such wonderful friend circle. Uttama shloke janeshu sakhyam. That is what Vrutrasur is asking. So our networking, our connection, our friendship is with the devotees. That is such a big boon in this world, especially today's modern Kali Yuga situation. That is the second biggest benefit we get by serving. Third is we get enthusiasm to serve devotees, because by seeing all these things happening around, oh, that devotee is serving so nicely. Oh, this devotee is also inspiring me. So we also get enthusiasm. अकेले सेवा करने के बोला तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा, बट किसी का स्कोर सुन के, अरे उसने 100 भगवदगीता डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए, हमें लगता है चलो मुझे भी थोड़ा करना चाहिए. That is third benefit we get. Fourth benefit is the best utilization of the available time. See, all of us are having certain jobs or careers to do. Families, once you get married, before marriage also your mother and father, you have to take care of their needs. After marriage, children, wife, husband, their household activities. All these things will need some time. Everybody in the world who are non-devotees, they also take care of the family and job, etc. But then there is a free time. Now, what do you do in that free time? You can watch IPL, you can watch Bollywood movies, you can watch so many other reels on internet, or then you can just while away, or just move around, or just sleep. There are so many ways we can spend your time. Doing seva of the Lord is the best utilization of our time. Time is a very scarce resource. Once gone, never comes back. So in the available time that is there with us as a Grihasthas, we have a priority for our family and job, because with that we can run. But after that, whatever is there with us, that is the best utilization. Seva offers us the best opportunity. And then somebody mentioned the purification is the next benefit. The fifth benefit we get is purification of our heart. Our heart, Krishna comes and he purifies it. And the sixth benefit is we are saved from Maya. Because Maya is trying to take us away. Baki kuch bhi kar lo tum, I will support you, but don't go back to Krishna. That is how Maya is giving us instruction. And next benefit is our attraction to Lord Krishna increases. Because now there is a reciprocation going on. Krishna is reciprocating with neophytes like us. All of us have experienced some jhalak of great happiness in the heart when we are dancing in the kirtan, when we are serving prasadam, or even doing some jhadu in some temple. We get great satisfaction. And many such benefits can be listed. So this is what Seva is offering. And this is exactly coming back to this example of Jay and Vijay and Chatush Kumaras. Usme Chatush Kumaras were having great sadhana. Jay Vijay also had great sadhana. Chatush Kumara had great jnana of Lord and the Adhyatmic transcendental knowledge. Jay Vijay also had great knowledge. But of the two, when Lord Vishnu came out, whose paksha or whose side Lord Vishnu took? Jay Vijay's side. Why? Somebody may ask, both sides were great people. But why Jay Vijay's side was taken? Because the answer is, Acharyas are giving wonderful answer, because Jay Vijay were the servants of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu said that I am their master. He comes out and declares, they are my servants. So प्रभु झुक जाते हैं, प्रभु वशीभूत हो जाते हैं अगर हम सेवा की तो. हमारी साधना इंपॉर्टेंट है, चैंटिंग इंपॉर्टेंट है, नो प्रॉब्लम. ज्ञान, स्टडी ऑफ द शास्त्रास इज इंपॉर्टेंट, नो डाउट. बट सेवा अगर हम करते हैं तो सेवा से भगवान हमारे पक्ष में आ जाते हैं. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. इसलिए हमेशा हमें सेवा के लिए आतुर रहना चाहिए कि कैसे मैं सेवा करूंगा, कहाँ सेवा करूंगा. So imagine a new person is visiting a temple and you are like, some department in charge of a particular pitching program or the coordinator of that department, or the temple president. None of us are here like that, but I'm just giving example. And new person आके पूछता है, प्रभु जी ये मुझे प्रसाद मिलेगा, कहाँ मिलेगा, चप्पल कहाँ पे उतारूं? And suddenly a thought may come to our mind, oh, where to remove chappals and keep? You are asking me that anybody can answer. So how do I then, why should I give time to such answer? You can ask that to security. Somebody can say like that. So this kind of thought may come in our mind. But that is not the right consciousness. Right consciousness is that this soul has come to Krishna. Now he is going up the temple to take darshan. He wants to remove chappal. Or he has taken darshan and now he wants to take prasadam. Even if we may be very senior devotee or old devotee in the temple, we have to think that Krishna has sent me this soul right now to serve on his behalf. Now, this soul right now may not be a great devotee, but 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, he will become a great devotee. But I will not get the opportunity to serve this new soul that time. Where will I be? Where will this soul be that time? Let me take this opportunity to serve this soul right now. He is available to me even for this small service. That is the bhav, that a devotee needs to have. I give this example last one meeting is about one new couple visiting one Iskcon temple, a real story. And by seeing at the cleanliness of the altar, the decoration in the temple, the dresses of the Lord, beautiful Radha Krishna form, this couple got so inspired, especially the lady in that couple. She was so happy, so happy. She told her husband that, I want to serve, such beautiful temple. and she saw in one corner some Matajis were doing the garland seva. And she saw the garland on Krishna and Radharani's Arche Vigraha. And she connected that this garland is now going to the Lord tomorrow. And she went to this lady and asked, "Can I serve?" Mata is also very happy. Yeah, you can also help us. So she started making garlands. And then somebody from the temple side came who was in charge of the garland seva. And he saw new Mataji over there. He said, "Oh, Mata, you are making garland for the deities?" He said, "Yes." And he said, he immediately understood she is a newcomer and probably not even initiated. तो उनका मंदिर का कोई रूल रहेगा. So he said, you are, do you eat meat? Yeah, point blank. That lady said, yes, we are not vegetarians yet. Oh, then how can you make garlands for the Lord? You meat eater, you kill animals, you eat, and with this kind of body, you are going to offer the garland to the Lord? No, get up. This is not seva for you. This is only for initiated devotees. You cannot do this seva. And he told other Mataji. Now you can imagine what must have happened to this first time visitor to the Iskcon temple. She got attracted to do seva right in the first visit. And some in charge is telling that you are not qualified, just get up from there. And he did not stop over there. He further said, he took the garland from that lady's hand. He said, this garland cannot be offered to Krishna. He told other Mataji, please throw it in the dustbin. In front of her, bol diya. Isko kachre ke dibbe mein dal do. That lady started crying. She and her husband just left the temple immediately. Now one can ponder upon so many aspects that how a visitor should be visited, taken care of. What is the sensitivity with which such incidents can be dealt with? How this in charge was wrong. But coming to the main aspect of the seva, a servant has to think that I am a servant of Lord Krishna. Similarly, all these souls who are coming, they are also servants of Lord Krishna. I have come to this temple or to Krishna maybe 15 years before these souls. Now I have this particular in charge ship or whatever. These souls are just new. 5, 10 lifetimes later, for example, 2-3 janam ke baad, same soul will become even a great sannyasi, a great guru. That time, in which body I will not be able to serve that person. Why can't I take this opportunity now? जैसे हम चंद्रमा का देखते हैं कि अमावस्या से पूर्णिमा तक तो धीरे धीरे बढ़ता है. पूर्णिमा is a full blown moon. So that is like a Shuddha Bhakta. And Amavasya is like the non-devotee. And most of us we are not Shuddha Bhakta. So definitely we are like Chaturthi, Ashtami, Dashmi, Saptami. Little bit of moon ke different phases. We are at that level. But आज जो प्रतिपदा में है वो कभी ना कभी तो जाके फुल मून बनने वाला है. So person who is at the Saptami and Ashtami level need not criticize somebody for not being at Saptami level. No, that is just not what Lord wants. ऐसा भी बोला जाता है कि आज जो मछली के जीवन में है, one who is a fish today and moving around in some river or some pond, and somehow a Shuddha Bhakta like say Srila Prabhupada or so many Prabhupada disciples, they're moving around and they wash their feet in that river and that Charnamrut is drunk by this fish. What will be the next life for that fish? He'll become human being and a great devotee of the Lord because he drank Charnamrut from pure devotees like Prabhupada or his disciples. So many other great devotees are there. So who are we to criticize somebody? Every soul is a potential pure devotee. So with that consciousness, so I am focusing right now my talk around the bhava of the seva that we are supposed to do. So these are all some points to think. With that in mind, because we know from the story of Dhruva Maharaj, Maharaj's mother Suniti, and the stepmother Suruchi. In one particular purport, Prabhupada writes that although Dhruva was not a pure devotee when he was offended by Suruchi, some years later Dhruva became pure devotee, and the offense that Suruchi had committed at the feet of Dhruva is counted as offense against pure devotee. And she was punished later, and that's how she ended her life quite early. ध्रुव महाराज के पास भागवतम में लिखा है. तो मतलब आज जो भक्त नहीं है, कल अगर भक्त बनेगा, परसों अगर शुद्ध भक्त बनेगा, तो आज का ऑफेंस भी काउंट होगा. So that should make us very much alert that better not do any offenses. Lord is compassionate on all the souls, and He is calling them to temple. So any opportunity, even forget even the people coming to the temple. We all have certain relatives around us: husband, wife, children, parents, in-laws, friend circle, community of devotees. All these are all potential great devotees. Today or tomorrow, they will become great devotees. With that consciousness, we need to serve. Because you just see from a different perspective also now that this is the line of eternality. In that, let us say this is where my birth is and this is where my death is. In this birth and death ke beech mein, I stay with my parents up to say 25, 30. Then we get married and we have now different family members, husband, wife, maybe children, in-laws. Again, with this set of souls, we have to stay for next 25, 30, 50 years. Now we had some set. So this life, there are two sets: before marriage, after marriage, and after children get married, they go away. So many things keep happening. Things do not remain constant. So at this point of time, for whatever number of years the souls are together, from the eternality perspective, this is very short time. Now, in this short time, Lord Krishna is watching us. How are we dealing with each other? With those souls with whom we are put up to. If we can be in the mood of service, Krishna will like it. Just like a parents, they have say 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, and they are going on a say vacation on the beach, etc., or somewhere in the house something is happening, and both the siblings, for the same food, for the same toy, they can fight or they can help each other, they can share with each other. When will parent become happy? When they're fighting, parents will think, oh my goodness, they will still need a lot of training. And if the siblings are happily sharing, parents will become satisfied. They will shower more mercy and blessings. Same thing, Krishna is our parent, and we are we all are his children. We're like siblings. We are put into this body, in this family together now, with certain resources around us. Now, are we fighting with each other, or are we sharing and helping each other? After this life, if we do not perfect in this life, then we'll be put in another family with another souls. Same husband, same wife will not be there. Same children will not be your children. You will get a new husband, new wife, new children, new parents, new in-laws. Now, second test will start. Once we become perfect, such a nice cooperative, sharing, helping spirit, this soul has. Krishna showers mercy, he will take that soul to the back home, back to Godhead. तो उसका परफेक्शन तो हो गया. जो बचे हैं उनके लिए और एक लाइफ. See, Krishna is not in hurry. For Krishna, eternality is no problem. We should be in hurry to qualify these tastes that come in our way. So these are all souls whose servants we are supposed to become. So my friends and relatives should become devotees of Krishna, and devotees should become my friends. This consciousness, we are helping everyone. Somebody is a devotee today, somebody is a potential devotee today, and a devotee tomorrow. With this consciousness, we serve each other in such a, vinamrata and tolerance. That these are the essential qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has focused on. Prunadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishuna. With that, you respect, expect none in return, and chant the holy names. This is like the sloka that we have to wear like a kanthimala around our neck. So, see, from the eternality's perspective, we are only put together for 30, 40, 50 years in one life. So, focusing on the long term will give us great tolerance, humility, different perspective to go ahead in our services. And then Krishna will be very satisfied. He will take us further, to the spiritual world. The similar Varnan coming in Mukundamala Stotra, where King Kulashekara is telling that, "Oh Lord, please do not remember me as the king. That is not a great position. Please remember me as the servant of your servant." So he is also telling the same thing. Please remember me. When we are constantly surrounded by devotees, we don't understand the importance. There are so many devotees in Pune or around. Nowadays, number of devotees has increased. But when there is rarity, then you'll understand the importance. We take them very seriously. And further, the consciousness can be even taken further for serving who are non-humans. They are also souls. That is a much higher consciousness where the trees, the animals, the birds, all are parts and parcels. Today they are in that position. I give the example of fish. Today he is in the fish body. Tomorrow he may be in the human body when he is in touch with the devotees, especially pure devotee like Prabhupada. In this regard, I remember one famous example Radhesham Prabhu gives many times. Radhesham said, for example, this is the pen and this is the paper. With this pen, I am doing my signature. So pen is writing on the paper. Now, whose signature it is? The pen that is writing, because without pen, I cannot sign. Or the paper on whom this particular sign is coming, because without paper, I cannot sign. Or the Tulsi Das, a mera sign. Sign hai kiska? All of us know whose sign it is, because that's how we sign all the documents everywhere in the world. So, very nice instructive lesson from this. This pen is like the Pita, the paper is like the Mata, and the sign is like the Bacha, the child. So, husband, wife, and child. But the sign belongs to whom? The person who is doing the signature. That is Lord Krishna. So, every child is actually Lord Krishna's child. The pen and paper, the Mata and Pita, they are just the instruments for bringing that soul in that family. That means in every family around, say, in our community, all children are souls of Lord Krishna only. Only this person is in my family. So if we have this kind of consciousness, then there is another level of our attitude that needs to come up is no favoritism towards our children, because they are my children. I'll give them all facilities. But the neighbor's child or some other child, I will not be working for them. Somewhere, whatever services we are trying to do, how can it benefit more number of children beyond my family? That is the consciousness we need to have. If you start certain initiative for your child, bring your children's friend circle also. Let them also work together. It may be library of books or games or any other activity we do. We should treat other devotee children also as good as these just are Krishna's souls coming in that family, this family. Some are financially very nice, some are financially not so nice. Can we create some system to help them in that mode of servant? Whole this system of say counseling system or marriage board system, as now Nityanand Sabha members, all of you know. Some devotees taking care and trying to find out where's a good match. That way we serve these other souls so that tomorrow they serve Krishna. So for example, this is a very nice example to take this point further down, drilling in our heart. if one great devotee comes to me, or my neighbor devotee comes to me and says, Prabhuji, I want to give you Charnamrut. Can you get one pot, some small pot? And I bring one small pot that is filled with water. I'm repeating the example. A devotee is asking me, can you get one pot for Charnamrut? I'm bringing one pot that is full of water. I'm getting the pot. But what is the use of that pot? Because now it is already full. He cannot put Charnamrut in that pot. They're getting the point? So the pot has to be khali. खाली पात्र लेके जाना चाहिए मुझे, तभी मैं चरणामृत ले पाऊंगा. सो सेवा वृत्ति तो चाहिए चाहिए, बट सेवा वृत्ति with our own intentions, our own swarthi desires is like the seva vritti that is full. That pot is already full. But when we have niswartha seva vritti, selfless service attitude, that is khali path. So if I am helping my own son or daughter, is a seva vritti. मैं उनके लिए बड़ा बैंक बैलेंस बना के छोड़ दूंगा इस दुनिया में, मैं उनके लिए सब अरेंजमेंट्स करके दूंगा, दूसरे बच्चों का मैं सोच भी नहीं रहा हूँ. That is seva vritti, the pot with full water. How can I take Charnamrut in that? But when I am trying to do something, that will help everyone, as many as possible. Everyone तो मतलब दुनिया में बहुत सारे, but as many as possible around me. With a niswartha bhavana say, that is a pot with empty, nothing inside. There Krishna is waiting, the great devotee is waiting to give us Charnamrut, the bhakti. The content of bhakti will come very easily, and that will remain in that pot. So the calculative mentality of I will do this seva. किसी भक्त ने पूछा है, क्यों? ये बाद में मुझे ना वो इसके लिए मदद चाहिए, that time he will help. ऐसे कैलकुलेटिव मेंटेलिटी से अगर कोई दूसरे भक्त की सेवा करता है, कोई बीमार है, उनको जाके मैं हॉस्पिटल में कर दूंगा थोड़ा सा सेवा, ताकि बाद में वो मुझे दीक्षा के टाइम पे नाम रिकमेंड करेंगे. ऐसा कुछ कैलकुलेशन से सेवा कर रहे हो तो दैट इज स्वार्थी, दैट इज नॉट निस्वार्थी. निस्वार्थी मतलब जस्ट हियर इज अ सोल which Krishna is representative. He needs some help, and I have the opportunity and resources that is also coming from Krishna, and that is helping me. So with that consciousness, that becomes Niswartha Seva Vritti. I hope this point is quite clear, because with this, our advancement and realizations are much faster and easier. With Swarthi Bhavana se Seva will not help us much. I need to put on charger to my laptop. Just take 1 minute break. Okay, Prabhuji? I need to have charger.
Yes, please.
Sorry for that small interruption. You can hear me again now? Hare Krishna. Yeah. So a servant is in the mood of how I can do better. That way, Lord will be pleased, and not how he will get something in return. कुछ इच्छा से सेवा करना, like Radhesham Prabhu is the example of donations. That some people give donations without expecting anything, but some people say, मेरा नाम कहाँ पे आएगा? So that is the abhilasha you have in return. That somewhere appreciation will come. When we are doing this service, We should not expect, after the service, somebody will come and glorify me. Prabhuji, wow, what a seva you did. This nobody could do it like you. Especially after the seva, when you are in the new stage, we wait for such appreciation because that is where our tendency is. But we need to understand we are beginning in our devotional service, we are expecting appreciations after the seva. Now, Radheshyam gave us many examples in the early days where he said, like, we are able to see my video, like this seva is done. Now, immediately go to the next seva. Now, that is done. Now, go to the next seva. Then this is done. Because our dharma is to become Nitya Seva. Jivera Swarupo hai, Krishna Nitya Das. If you have to become Nitya Das, that means one seva is done, then next seva. Then that seva is done, we should think, oh, now this seva is done, now what should I do? Where is the next seva? Then go to that seva. Then what is the next seva? Go to that seva. Oh, now I am very tired. Let me take rest. That taking rest is also a seva, so that you get up and do next seva. Then you are sick. Okay, then that is also one seva. Oh, as a family member, I need to earn money. Then going to the job is also seva, because with that money you can run the family. And again, in free time, you are in the temple for seva. So that means your sleep becomes your seva, your job becomes your seva. You are constantly thinking of going from one seva to other seva. That is a very nice platform we want to achieve. But what is our position right now? We are doing one seva and then we wait. Who is sending thank you on the WhatsApp group? Who is appreciating me on the phone? Somebody says, wow, Prabhuji, क्या lecture दे आपने क्या टेम्पल साफ किया था, वाह प्रभु जी क्या डीटी ड्रेसिंग किया आपने. जो भी सेवा करे उसके लिए हम वेट करते हैं, वेटिंग फॉर द एप्रिसिएशन. एंड देन बाद में भी कंप्लेन, प्रभु जी कितना सेवा किया मैंने, कोई बोलता ही नहीं कुछ, अच्छा किया नहीं किया, मेरा नाम भी नहीं डिक्लेयर किया, बाकी 10 भक्तों का व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे नाम है तो मेरे को क्यों मिस किया. So all these thoughts they are in our mind that shows that we are yet to begin our nice niswarthi seva vritti se seva. So expecting appreciations. Gita mein there's a very nice sloka which I have been discussing many times in the Tulsi group also. 12.13 and 14. You are able to see the screen, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is visible.
Yeah, I'm just changing the tab. Yes. This one, I had kept it open. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukha kshami. Let us take this 13th sloka. From this sloka up to the 18th sloka is like self-appraisal. All of us can do. All of you know the self-appraisal in the company, it happens. So we can check मेरे भक्ति में कितना advancement किया हूँ. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूताना, I am not envious of others. वो उसको appreciation मिल रहा है, उसको ही हमेशा स्टेज पे बुलाते हैं, उसको ही सेवा मिलता है, हमें कोई पूछता ही नहीं है. और उसके सेवा की इतना अप्रिसिएशन मिला, मैं था वहां पे, उसने कितना गंदा काम किया था, वो कोई देखता नहीं है. द्वेष्टा. और उसके पास ज्यादा संपत्ति है तो हमें एनवी फील हो रहा है, अरे उनके पास ये सब है इसलिए ज्यादा सेवा कर रहे हैं, हमारे पास नहीं है कुछ इसलिए हम ज्यादा सेवा नहीं कर पाते. ये सब भाव मन में लाना, अगर ऐसा आ रहा है तो ये स्थिति हमारे, और ये स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है. जैसे आगे आगे श्लोक में जाओगे अप टू 18, यू विल गेट वेरियस, दिस आर लाइक स्टैंडर्ड 1, स्टैंडर्ड 2, स्टैंडर्ड 3 इन द स्कूल, एंड वी कैन चेक अवर सेल्फ. हमें अगर एडिशन मल्टीप्लीकेशन आ रहा है मतलब हम इस स्टैंडर्ड पे. अगर हमें अभी आगे जाके स्क्वायर और स्क्वायर रूट्स आ रहा है तो हम अगले स्टैंडर्ड में, आगे जाके इंटीग्रेशन डिफरेंशिएशन आ रहा है तो अगले स्टैंडर्ड में गए. वैसे ये श्लोका हमें डिटेल में स्टडी करना चाहिए प्रभु जी जन्माता जी. मैत्र करुणा है, मेरे मन में करुणा भाव है क्या सब जीवों के प्रति, किसको जो मदद चाहिए भक्ति में मैं दे सकता हूँ. अगर कोई भक्त आके आपको पूछ रहा है प्रभु जी आप मेरे लिए कर सकते हैं क्या, टेक इट एज इफ कृष्णा हैज सेंड दैट डिवोटी टू यू, or I have to think like myself, to me, can I help that devotee in some way? And if it is in my capacity, if I have time, if it is not too much of going out of my way, I should. But sometimes हम सोचते हैं कि ना ये मेरा डिपार्टमेंट थोड़ा ही है, ऑलरेडी मैंने बहुत कुछ सेवा कर लिया, अभी ये किसी दूसरे. नहीं प्रभु जी, ऐसा हम बोल देते हैं। करुणा एवच निर्ममो निरअहंकारा, ये अहंकार की भावना में अप्रिसिएशन के बारे में बोल रहा था। दैट इज अबाउट दिस सम दुख सुख क्षमी, मतलब दुख में भी और सुख में भी। मतलब प्रमोशन मिल गया कंपनी में, इतना हैप्पी हो गए, इतना हैप्पी हो गए। और घर पे फॉर एग्जांपल कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया या दूसरे को प्रमोशन मिला तो इतना दुखी हो गए कि 2 दिन बस वही मन में चल रहा है, स्ट्रेस आ रहा है, डिपार्टमेंट बहुत पॉलिटिक्स चल रहा है, मेरा कोई देखता ही नहीं है। नहीं, दोनों इसमें, दिस इज ऑल टेम्पररी, ये हमें हमें मन को बोलना है। और ये शुरुआत है। संतुष्ट सततम योगी यतात्मा दृढ़ निश्चय, ऐसे आगे आगे आएंगे। तो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू हिंट वेयर यू ऑल कैन गो थ्रू एंड रीड दिस थिंग्स। So this is another aspect of seva bhav. So with this, when we are doing devotional service, then the content that will be poured from top, the thick, so Krishna consciousness, the bhakti, the prem, will not get leakaged. मतलब वो पॉट में रहेगा वो। नहीं तो हम जैसे कुंभार कोई पॉट बनाता है, मटका बनाता है, और उसको ठीक से पक्व होने के पहले अगर उसमें पानी डाला तो ऐसा टूट जाएगा या पानी बाहर आ जाएगा। हमारा वही अवस्था है। हम परिपक्व होने के पहले ही थोड़ा सा जो हमें भक्ति का सुकून मिलता है, हम उस मटके में डाल के लोगों को दिखाने का प्रदर्शन करते हैं, शो ऑफ और डिवोशनल सर्विस, तो पूरा लीकेज होके बाहर आ जाता है और कंटेंट में कुछ नहीं रहता है। लेकिन हमें परिपक्व बनाना पड़ेगा मटके को निस्वार्थ सेवा वृत्ति से, ताकि उसके अंदर जो हरि नाम ले या कोई दूसरी कृपा आए तो हमारे पास वो रहे। वो रहते हैं जैसे श्रील प्रभुपाद जैसे, कि उनके पास इतना भक्ति उन्होंने लिया था कि पूरे दुनिया को वो बांट रहे थे। एंड ऐसे अहंकार या आई एंड माइन की प्रवृत्ति, प्रभुपाद के जीवन में भी बहुत सारे दुख आए। उनके वाइफ वाज नॉट सपोर्टिंग हिम मच, और हिज बिजनेस गॉट लूटेड। सम दुख सुख क्षमी, he was appreciated for his good work also in the business, but his only goal is that how can I spread Krishna consciousness. He was working so hard as a Grihastha. So towards end part of my today's talk, and many more points, but I'll come to the important points. As the title said, as young Grihastha couples, what are the advantages? Because I can take to these services during my old age also, or after 40, 45, 50. But first benefit we get is our young energy is channeled in the right direction if we accept Krishna's service in the early age, in the young age. Why? Because our body has a lot of energy. If you don't channel it in the right direction, then it will be channeled in the wrong direction, because the senses are very active and strong energy is there, and those senses will drag us to different sense objects. So as soon as we get free time, the mind and senses will demand, ab kya karna hai? What next? How can we enjoy? But if there is some सेवा waiting, और मुझे टेम्पल में जाके गार्लैंड बनाना है, और मुझे मंदिर में जाके प्रचार करना है, इस प्रोग्राम के लिए तैयारी करना है, तो उस फ्री टाइम में we are responsible for that seva. So the young energy gets channeled in the right direction. This is one of the biggest advantage of doing having meaningful Krishna conscious engagements as grihasthas, or to be grihasthas. The second benefit is we get faster realizations by comparing the satisfaction we get by doing Krishna सेवा versus सेंसेस की सेवा। मतलब अपने मन और इंद्रियों की सेवा से हमें कितना आनंद मिलता है, और जब निस्वार्थ भाव से भक्तों की कृष्ण की सेवा करता हूं तो कितना आनंद मिलता है, बिकॉज इट इज एप्पल टू एप्पल कंपेरिजन। ओल्ड एज में हम जाके जब भक्ति करने का सेवा करने का प्रयास करेंगे, तब हमारे यंग एज के इंद्रियों का अनुभव हमारे साथ रहेगा, बट हमारे यंग एज के इंद्रियों का सेवा करने का अनुभव नहीं रहेगा, बिकॉज वो टाइम पे हम हमारे ओल्ड इंद्रियों से उस कैटेगरी या उस इंथुजियाज्म या एनर्जी के साथ सेवा नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो इट विल नॉट बी एप्पल टू एप्पल कंपैरिजन। दैट इज द बिगेस्ट अनदर बेनिफिट by having Krishna conscious engagement in the young age. And when we have that comparison analysis in front of you, you know that this seva works. This is there. The third benefit we get is we become very fortunate to assist Mahabhagavatas early in life and for long term of life. मतलब हम 20-25 में अगर हम सेवा करना स्टार्ट करेंगे तो हमें बहुत जल्दी अलग अलग कृष्णा कॉन्शियस सेवा करके प्रगति करने का एक अवसर मिलता है, और उसके कारण हमें महाभागवतों का संग मिलता है। उतने बार हम ज्यादा सुनेंगे, सेवा करेंगे और उनको प्लीज करने का प्रयास करेंगे, एंड ये बहुत लॉन्ग समय तक चलता रहेगा। मतलब अभी 25 तो अपने को 60, 70, 80 जब तक हमारी लाइफ है तब तक हम सेवा कर पाएंगे। कितना हम ये सुकृति, कृपा, भक्ति इकट्ठा कर पाएंगे। आउट ऑफ 80 ईयर्स अगर लास्ट के 20-25 साल ही किया तो टाइम स्पेन कम है। अगर 20-25 से स्टार्ट किया तो आपको 2/3 लाइफ मिल जाता है। दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग एडवांटेज। Just take the examples of Prabhupada preaching to hippies. They were just 16, 17, 20 इस एज ग्रुप में थे, like the Nityanand Sabha members are. And they started, and now even after 50 years, they are in 70s now. And there are devotees who have served for 50 years in Prabhupada's movement. Incredible achievement. Their realizations are worth hearing. Can you imagine ना, यूथफुल एनर्जी सेंस एंजॉयमेंट के बजाय अगर कृष्णा को दिया तो कृष्णा ऐसे ही छोड़ने वाला है उस व्यक्ति को? बिल्कुल नहीं। कृष्णा ऐसे व्यक्ति को अपना मान लेगा कि भैया इसने पूरा यूथफुल एनर्जी मुझे दे दिया है। So that is the advantage. Take example of Amrish Prabhu also. He was there with Prabhupada in Dallas when they bought that, not Dallas, the Detroit temple, the mansion. And now he is building TOVP as per Prabhupada's instructions. Such a range of services available from that to this, all these 50 years. The next advantage, one of the again very big advantage we get as young couples coming to Krishna, is our progeny will be very powerful, because the consciousness of the mother and father as husband and wife would be very elevated. So that is very important advantage we get as young grihasthas, and this is both before the birth of the child and after the birth of the child. Before the birth, what happens? The husband and wife consciousness is thinking about Krishna and service to Krishna. So similar kind of souls are attracted in the family who have done some Krishna conscious activities in the previous life. Such souls are sent to this family. And after birth, children are watching up to parents as the role models, that how my parents are serving, they're going to temple, doing this kirtan, this seva, that seva. Those sanskaras are imprinted in their minds. So that is another big advantage of coming to Krishna and serving early. Then what happens? When young couples are doing services regularly, week after week, month after month, year after year, their quality of the service also increases. And that is seen by the neighbors and the society people, the company people, relative circles. And they get interest. Oh, young age से कर रहा है, सालों साल कर रहा है या कर रही हैं. And that preaching is more powerful than the words of 1 hour or 2 hours of some preacher, because the example is much better precepts than the words, than just speaking. That the quality and regularity brings people closer to Krishna. So many times we have that experience where people say, like 100 चूहे खाके बिल्ली हाथ को चली, मतलब किसी ने बहुत कुछ गलत सलत करके एंड पार्ट ऑफ द लाइफ में भक्ति में आया, वो भी अच्छा है, भक्ति में तो आगे है, लेकिन लोगों के मन में ऐसा भी आ सकता है, चलो सब मजा करके भक्ति में आए, बट जो यंग एज से आ रहा है उससे जो प्रीचिंग होगा, दैट विल बी वेरी पावरफुल. The next advantage is when the youth stage is fading away, like we are into 40, 45, 50, and the body and inner senses are not with so much of energy levels to serve Krishna, then we will have to move ourselves to the services where so much of physical services are not possible. Some different, like counseling, preaching, talking, guiding. That time what happens? Because of our engagements in the physical services, the passion, the rajogun has gone down, the meaningful engagements have emerged, required experience is now in your kitty, you can imagine how much impactful services you can do after 45, 50. Because now you are no more interested into sense gratification. That time, your experience of Krishna consciousness helps the preaching movement in a very, very impactful way. That time you are on that निस्वार्थ भावना से आगे जाने का आपका मन ऐसा करता है because you have experienced service का taste. Another big advantage in the young life, when we come, we have big life left in front of us. And many storms come. Sometimes some relatives pass away, sometimes husband passes away or wife passes away, or then many other storms like financial crisis, pink slip in the job, health crisis. So many crises may come. As a devotee, how do we handle that versus as a non-devotee? Who is in a better position to tackle the crisis, relationship crises? Now, so all these things, we are well equipped. So that time, Krishna conscious engagements come to rescue. One devotee was telling me that Prabhuji पिछले 2-3 साल में मेरे जो एक्सपीरियंस किया, अगर मेरे पास ये सेवा नहीं होती तो शायद आई वुड हैव गॉन मैड. बट सेवा के कारण मन मग्न रहता है, और मन वहां पे लगने के कारण वो हमेशा अभी ये करना है वो करना है. अगर कुछ नहीं एंगेजमेंट रहेगा तो वो मन खाएगा उसको. मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो, मैं इतना जब करता हूँ मेरे साथ क्यों हो, ऐसे सब थॉट आके दैट पर्सन मे गो इनटू डिप्रेशन. So this is another advantage of having Krishna conscious engagements in Grihastha life. It pacifies our mind and also gives meaningful results in Krishna's service. And last and very important that I have written over here is of any culture and the society, say Indian society, the basic element is the family. Family is the basic element. Like, I'm building one building, one brick is one element of that construction work. So each brick is like one family of the social structure that we are creating. And when we are having Krishna conscious engagement, husband and wife together, they are like, forming that unit. So imagine now we have a happy family, we have a value-based family or principle-centered family. What impact that will create in the society? Because nowadays world is having, especially in Europe and America, the family structure is broken. It's practically non-existent. I have seen people introducing each other. This is my third marriage. This is my fourth marriage. Children know that this is my biological father. This is my adopted father, or my mother's. I am son or daughter of my mother. This mother and her previous husband. Now he is married to another woman. He stays in that city. I stay with my mother in the. This is very common in Europe and America. It's totally gone. मतलब there is nothing left. खोखला बन गया पूरा social structure in European countries and American, all this Western civilization. In India में भी वो आ रहा है अभी. So the point I'm telling is when there is a family with a Krishna conscious engagement, their attraction to husband and wife is not based on the body, because body's youthful, attractive nature will fade away over a period of time. But their engagements with Krishna in the center, that will last long for the rest of their life with a meaningful bond, a bond that is beyond just physical appearances. And such value-based and principle-based families, when the world is seeing, they also get attracted. That is wonderful preaching. And inside the family, what happens? This family structure is going to be the massive, impactful change maker in the whole country. For example, take Bharat. How many are brahmacharis and sannyasis and how many are grihasthas? 99% are grihasthas only. So if we can, one brick, each family is one brick. If we can make that brick a Krishna conscious, engaged family wala brick. Inside there is husband, wife, children, and they're like, in one atom there is a proton, neutron, electron. They're moving around here and there. But independently they can't exist. So husband, wife, children, they together form one particular atom, particular. Independently, they also can't do much. They are not like sannyasis and brahmacharis. They will be devoured by the mayas and senses outside if they become separate from this family. So family is that part that keeps all these entities together happily, safely protected. So when we have Krishna in the center in the form of service, it becomes fantastic contribution for the society, for building nation, for spreading Krishna consciousness, for pleasing Srila Prabhupada. So with this, I end my small talk over here. The summary is becoming Dasanudas with right Seva Bhav, and how these engagements in married life help us earlier, the better. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Joy. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Am I audible to you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was really a very insightful and helpful session for all of us. Uh, so we started with Vitrasur prayers, those 4 shlokas, and then gave us a lot of points. So I'll just whatever like some sutra points which I felt I have written it
Yes,
down.
yes.
So you mentioned that real dharma is eternal, which is nothing but service. And you mentioned a very nice phrase that seva saves. So more the seva we do, it will save us.
Mhm.
Then you mentioned let a prayer which you had heard. Let your devotee become my friend, and let my friends become your devotees. So yeah,
That is
that's
Uttarakhur. Yes.
services of Lord may take you physically away. So sometimes we are away while serving, but it is more pleasing to Guru and Krishna. And also you said a very good example of Jai Vijay. Actually, Krishna took side of Jai Vijay because uh, it, they were actually directly the servants of Lord.
They're servants of Lord Vishnu.
Yes. Then also you shared about sensitivity in seva. You mentioned that example of couple who had
Yeah.
come as a visitor, and by not being sensitive, we actually drive away people from Krishna consciousness. And then serve with humility and tolerance. It is like a kantimala given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mm.
Every child is Krishna's child. Signature example you gave, like uh, the pen is a father, paper is mother, and the signature is child, but the one who is signing is Krishna.
Yes. Very nice example. That is Radhishamru's example.
Radheshankar example, yes. And then favoritism should be avoided while doing service. It's not that system should be made to cater our need, our students' need. I mean, our child's need only. It should be there. There should be more niswarth in our service.
Yes.
If we have the opportunity and resources to serve, then we should not be having a calculative mentality. And
Yeah.
then you listed out very impactful advantages, which just latest only you mentioned.
Correct.
So
Well
it was
said.
very yes, very. Thank you, Prajit. So, if devotees have some questions, they can put it on chat or raise their hand here. I'll unmute. And so, how much time you have, Prajit? I mean, already
Have
it's
time till 1 o'clock. Yes.
okay. So, I one devotee had asked in between. I'll just ask that. Meanwhile, other devotees can also type. So, there's a question, Prajit, how to balance between seva and other aspects of devotional service, that is sadhana and sadachar. So, how to balance this
So
two?
Seva, Sadhana, and Sadachar, how to balance? Is that the question?
Yes, Prajit.
See, Seva and Sadhana, they need time. Sadachar does not need time. Sadachar is something that you follow for while doing anything and everything. So, in that sense, in the Seva and Sadhana, what is the priority? So, as a Grihastha, we follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur's priority principle. To be in short, Mm. the general guidelines is that health is number one priority, then sadhana, then our family and job, and then finally seva. So these are the things. The first four things is something that cannot be ignored. So your health is important. Then after the health, your sadhana. Then look after your family. Then job, the whatever business to earn the money for the family. Once these four factors are properly balanced, your health is good, your family is satisfied, your job is going okay, the remaining time is what the non-devotees waste in various things. Is that is the time that we have to engage in Krishna service. So if you do anything at the cost of health, then over a period of time, health will collapse. You will not be able to serve long. If you do it at the cost of sadhana, then again that will not last spiritually long. At the cost of family, then that brick, that element I mentioned, the family element, that will be broken. And at the cost of job, then probably the financial insecurities may come in the future. So balance करते हुए हमें सेवा को add करना है. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. That is general answer. And in specific, what happens? Too much of dilly dallying with say family or job that आप 18 घंटा 16 घंटा job में डाल रहे हो, and that is extreme of those aspects. That also do the needful. So for that, then counselor will guide further. Individually क्या करना.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, don't see any questions. So I've opened it. Okay, Kalyan Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. I think you can unmute and ask.
No, no. Thank you for the question.
You're audible. You're audible, Prabhuji.
I was saying thank you for the answer.
Achha. Okay, I thought you were right. Any other questions? Asset devotees are allowed to unmute. If you have any question, please unmute and ask. Meanwhile, Prabhuji, like sometimes there are services which are more, which catches more attention or glamorized maybe in a society. So sometimes we feel attracted. Okay, we should serve in those things which will help us to. I mean, it gives us personal acknowledgement. Also, I mean, there is a sense of contribution also comes, no doubt. So we feel more attracted, but later on we realize that maybe we are not meant for those services. Like to give an example, it's like book distribution. So your name is announced every day if you do, but maybe you feel you can contribute in some other ways. So ideally, what should be done in this regard?
Yeah. So the tendency generally of the conditioned soul is to run after glamour and the name and fame. That is there. So in the beginning stages, yes, we may get attracted to these services. But if we go deeper in our devotional service, we know that this is not why I came to Iskcon Pune. I came here so that I understand who am I, who is God, how can I engage myself. That's where we started our devotional service in Iskcon under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. So over a period of say 5 years, 10 years down the line, sometimes we miss the focus on the ultimate goal of life, and we get attracted to this name and fame related services. So that time we better do self-analysis. Some introspection is required at that time. And if this is not helping, then we start doing something that is only between you and Krishna. Other devotees should not even come to know that you have done this service and see how you feel. And that satisfaction by knowing that Krishna knows that you have done this seva to this devotee, but nobody else knows. Just like donation के बारे में बोले ना, अगर if you give donation by right hand, your left hand should not come to know. That is how it is said in the Shastras. That is how our services should be. So gradually we should try to aspire to come to that level. It will not happen overnight or just by hearing this one lecture. Slowly, 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 we can come to that level.
Yes, thank you so much. There is one question in the chat. Hare Krishna by Suraj Bro. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for wonderful lecture. I learned to see even non-devotees are potentially pure devotees. My question is that you said that Krishna is not in hurry in this eternity to take us back home. But I also heard that Krishna is more anxious than anyone to take you back home more than the practitioner. So please clear this contradiction.
Yes, very nice question. Both statements are true. Krishna is very anxious, and that is why he's giving us so much of help. He's sending pure devotees, he himself is coming, doing the Leela, then he's coming at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and showing how to become a nice devotee. Scriptures are there, now temples are there, communities are there. These are all the ways by which Krishna is helping us. That shows Krishna is very, very anxious for us to go back home, back to Godhead. On the other hand, if we do not qualify ourselves, even after giving so much of help, then Krishna will give us one more birth, then another birth, then another birth. The help will continue. So his anxiety for us to come back is through all these arrangements that he has done for us. At the same time, if we are not qualified, then he will not take us. Why? Because Krishna does not want to interfere with our free will. Otherwise, he would have taken all the souls back to Godhead immediately. As soon as they come to even say Iskcon ke ek mala kar diya, chalo sabko Bhagavatam leke chalo. No, that is the beginning of the cleansing of the heart, showing that we want to come back Krishna. No, but अभी बहुत सारा है. एक माला करने के बाद या 16 माला करने के बाद, whenever we have some attractive Maya का feature, we leave Krishna and run towards Maya. Then Krishna बोलता रहे अगर इसको मैं भगवतम लेके गया तो उधर क्या करेगा? He will become frustrated because he still wants to enjoy so many sense objects here. No, let me give him more time. Krishna's love is in the form of patience. Let him take the final decision, Krishna thinks. Then, once we are ready, then he will take us back. That is Krishna's time. So I hope that is clear, Suraj Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you so much.
Now I will add the next part of the same answer. Is Krishna's devotees, the Acharyas, Radharani, they are eager to take us back to Godhead even if we are not fully ready. एक अलग मर्सी कृपा सिद्ध का प्लेटफॉर्म है. सो प्रभुपाद बोलते ना, मेरी धोती पकड़े मैं आपको बैक डोर से लेके जाऊंगा, या राधा रानी रिकमेंडिंग, oh this servant has done this thing, no, Seva to that devotee, please, no, I recommend him or her, Radharani says to Krishna. Our acharyas are giving us so much of mercy. So they are very merciful. So whatever 10-20% part that may be remaining of purification, that these great acharyas will come and do the job for us. They'll clean the heart. हम बार बार फेल हो रहे हैं या बहुत ज्यादा अलग तरह से कृपा आएगी, तो हमारे साइड से हम कृपा के ऊपर सिर्फ मतलब ये नहीं कर सकते कि जब आएगी तब देखेंगे, मैं तो ऐसे ही जिंदगी जीता रहूंगा, ऐसा नहीं बोलना है. हमारे साइड से एफर्ट दिखना चाहिए. अब कुछ कम पड़ गया तो कृष्णा का फेमस स्टेटमेंट कौन गीता, दैट इज LIC का लोगो, क्या है वो, LIC का लाइन क्या है?
योगक्षेम वहां.
हाँ, योगक्षेम मोहम में. यस, I carry what you have and I give you what you love. That is what Krishna means. That is Krishna's anxious. He is anxious, I suppose. Yes, Prabhuji. Next, who is the...
Mohan Prabhu. You can unmute, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry, some basic questions.
Yes.
Yeah, is my voice audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Some,
You can.
just a basic question. I understand that in terms of when we consider the soul. So is it true in saying that the soul's eternal nature is to serve?
Yes.
And then service, as you said, it should be coming with a selfless motive, or there should not be any material desire for getting those benefits, while doing service. So if say for example, I'm taking a gardener who is maintaining the temple garden, and because he is doing that service, the flowers are coming up and then it is getting served to Krishna, right? So for that seva he is getting paid. So how will that be considered as a seva, because he has already taken that material benefit in terms of rupees or salary? So how that we consider, and how that is?
Okay. So as soon as we take some kind of remuneration in return, be it salary or be it the name and fame, or मैंने donation दिया, मेरा नाम वहाँ पे put up करो, that is some kind of remuneration taken, versus the person who is not taking anything in return. So both are services, But one who is not taking anything in return will get more benefit in terms of bhakti than the others. Some benefit will be there with everyone because they are serving Krishna instead of some boss in
Right.
the as well. That's how we
Yeah.
need to look at it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. There is one question.
In fact, yeah, just like there is a financial goal for devotees who are going to join Brahmacharya Ashram for the parents, etc. Similarly, how should a newly married devotee make his financial goal if he starts from scratch after marriage? Very important question, because that is something that affects our family life to a great extent, because money is required for every single thing in the world. And not only now, but it was there in the earlier times also. So, yes, there is a need of disciplined approach in terms of savings. There is a whole other seminar or a lecture that we can have. And I have given that multiple times also to different devotees. But in short, as a part of question and answer session, I can say that there are certain principles. Reducing our wants and living like king size is very much important than increasing our wants and living like a beggar size. Is a statement from the book of Radhesham Prabhu. He has developed the concept very nicely with many examples in that book. The concept is that if we are having, say, 25,000 salary a month, then we need to reduce our wants so that 10-20% of the salary can be saved for the future. If our salary is 50,000 rupees, then you can spend little more, but still your savings percentage need to go up. If your salary is 1 lakh rupees, accordingly, then it can go up. So do not, in Marathi they say, Anthrun Paun Pay Pastrave. That means you can, spend as much as you earn. And उसमें से part of that needs to go in terms of savings for the future. जनरली आजकल के जो ट्रेंड्स है हमारी कंपनी में, जो भी मैं यंग लोगों को देख रहा हूँ, 20,000 सैलरी आ रहा है तो पूरा 20 का 20 उड़ा देते हैं उसी महीने में. समटाइम्स ऑन क्रेडिट कार्ड उसका बिल नेक्स्ट महीना भरना पड़ता है. That is not a very good approach. So disciplined savings on a monthly basis is required to build a corpus for our family and serving the souls which are given in care of us by Krishna, our wife, children, parents, etc. So that, at the time of retirement, say around 45, 50, 55 max, a devotee can very gracefully retire. But if we keep increasing our wants, then savings will be meager, and then it will not help much. Then somebody may have to keep working till 55, 60, 65, 70. Then the purpose is not that much achieved. Earlier, the better. So your question was how to do that by a newly married couple. In one line, a disciplined approach to savings for the future. That is required. That's okay. Yashashvi Gaur Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Never compare with what others are spending on, even if they are devotees. Their salary may be much more than my salary. So that's why it is an individual approach. That's it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There was one more question, Prabhuji. Following discussion on highlighting the service done and donating, they mentioned that no one should be aware, it should be between us and Krishna. So sometimes I share my heart with my mother. Is it okay or shouldn't be done?
मुझे प्रश्न नहीं दिख रहा है, आपको पर्सनली भेजेगी और मे बी
I don't know. शायद personally.
वो
वो अभी यशस्वी प्रभु के ऊपर वाला क्वेश्चन
जो उनके ऊपर वाला है, ठीक है.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
yes,
Following
yes.
discussion on highlighting the service. Yeah.
Following discussion on highlighting the service done and donating, something I share my heart with my mother. Is it okay or shouldn't be done? So what I understand कि मैंने मंदिर को इतना डोनेशन दिया, ये मैंने मेरे माँ को बोला. So should it be done or not? Is that the question? I'm just asking.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay. So, see what happens, mother, father, wife, these are part of our core family members. So when you are earning money, money is earned not for only you, but for these core family members. When you are spending money, that is done for the family. When you are giving donation, that is for invoking blessings on the family. And it is not done with this idea कि देख माँ मैंने कितना बड़ा डोनेशन दिया, हर महीने को 5,000 10,000 दे रहा हूँ. So ऐसा आइडिया भी अगर आपका नहीं है to get to show that अहंकार, then it is nothing wrong in sharing our heart with mother, because it is a combined decision of wife, husband, mother, father कि हम ये साल कितना डोनेशन देंगे मंदिर. If they are सपोर्टिंग यू, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपका कैपेसिटी है देने का लेकिन माँ और पिताजी या वाइफ डिवोटी नहीं है, अरे क्यों दे रहे हो फालतू में पैसा उधर इधर, देन बेटर नॉट टेल. सो आपका रिलेशनशिप आपके माँ के साथ कैसा है, बीइंग पार्ट ऑफ फोर फैमिली मेंबर, एंड इट इज नॉट डन फॉर शोइंग ऑफ कि मैं कितना दे रहा हूँ, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. सो उसके पीछे का एटीट्यूड देखें. सो आई होप दैट इज क्लियर.
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
Okay, so should we end it here?
So I think there are. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was a really wonderful time with you. And
So much.
we look
I
forward.
thank all the devotees who are patiently hearing for so long, and if I have said something wrong or that is not in line or that is hurting you, please forgive me. If any clarification is required, you can again contact me, because there are always so much of context to particular statement. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Let us thank His Grace Tulsi Prabhu by loudly chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Hare
Hari bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone.